I'm ready.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What up, y'all? We back live and direct, live and direct. That's what it is. For the NXT Deadline PLE post show. We got a lot to talk about. My name is TK Trinidad. Y'all go and introduce yourselves and all that good stuff before we get into it.
I am Dion of All Star Fandom. I'm the people's nightmare. I like to rock like Cody. Some dueling ideas and thoughts there, but no, happy to be here for the post show.
And,
Will Joe Jameson here. Happy to be talking about the NXT Deadline post show. It was an extravaganza. Women's wrestlers, men wrestlers, phony tag teams, phony championship matches. I can't wait to get into it. Headline: NXT Deadline. Dead or next in line? Parker, where are those photos? It's the cigar.
I don't even know where to go with this. Is Said coming or what's up with Said?
That's gonna be the clip. I'm making that a clip. Let's get made into a clip.
Oh man.
The mayor is supposed to be joining us. He may be also catching up with the show. So
Gotcha.
If we can, we'll hold off on that match first and talk about a few other ones. So NXT Deadline. Thank you for joining us on the post show. Of course, Dion, myself, the real TK here in the building. Hope you were able to join the post show, and if you were, glad you were able to be there with us, and happy you're here on the post show. Very solid day. Watch it. Wait. Oh yeah, watch long and now the post show. Yes, Thank you. So
No problem.
let us get into the first match, men's Iron Survivor match. We had a winner. But before we talk about it, give me your overall score of the match on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being it was everything you needed in an Iron Survivor challenge. 1 to being I should have went walk my dog.
Me.
Hilarious.
TK,
Given
you
the
want
fact
to go
that I did
first?
walk my dog. Given the fact that I did walk my dog, I actually really liked this match. I like the surprise of, I guess, your client, Councilman Farrell of Oba Femi coming back in and taking it all. It was great storytelling. I think, like I said, for those who've been watching me for a long time, I love a good story. I love a good promo. The wrestling, if you can add on great wrestling, that's a bonus. So there was good storytelling because we didn't know who to expect except for Councilman Farrell did call it at the beginning, so we'll give him his flowers. But I think I believe the order of the matches was the perfect the perfect recipe. And the reason I say that, I always go back to for those who don't know, I was X-Pac's co-host for X-Pac 12360, and he said this where wrestling, especially when you have pay-per-views or PLEs or even wrestling shows, you need the ups and downs. You can't have high matches throughout the whole thing. It's going to burn the crowd out. And I think they did the perfect match, the perfect lineup of matches for this PLE. So start off, it was a great match because it kind of got us hyped and to look forward to the women's match, which they ended off really well too. That the last 7 seconds was, storytelling at its finest too.
Dion, your overall score on the match and thoughts on it.
Yeah, probably like an 8 because obviously with the Oba, really we'll talk about Ridge and Trick, but this was a really good card. Like TK said, it was built from start to finish really well. But probably an 8 because once Oba Femi started walking down that ring,
It was a wrap.
Yeah, business picked up then. We got to see Wes Lee some character changes in his moves and stuff like that. But no, I think, and then the Nathan Frazier thing for me is like a highlight throughout the night because we get to see him again. But no, they pulled it. It was a great match to start. Get the crowd hype, which was not the greatest crowd throughout the PLE, but no, this was a good one to start the show. A lot of storytelling within that one too, because we got some stuff with Ethan Page after it, like a little vignette in between with him doubting himself or either leaving. But no, and then we get Wesley and Evans next week probably off of this. Yeah. So there are a lot of things that came through this one match. That, like TK said, the storyline wise just sort of spans out after this match too. So it's like a cluster and it's just connecting to everything else. Love the match. Good 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give it that as well. Of course, you know, my newest client, the big back general himself, the ruler, Obafemi, coming through and just dominating, representing for the big back coalition. And we are very proud of our brother for becoming the Iron Survivor. But no, I think to TK's initial point is we saw a lot of story development throughout this card. Mm-hmm. Like you said, from even from your point of view, from a Wesley's progression, and I'm actually now more okay. I'm starting to slowly see it. We've cut the hair, we've changed the style. Great, even with Nathan Frazier, like we've seen what it's like for him to burn it on both ends, but it seems like that's not going to be the last time we see that. And even to Javon and Wes is expanding, and even like Ethan Page getting to kind of get a chance to take a step back and us figuring out like what's next for him outside the NXT title picture. I think we got a lot of that to be shown here within this match. So I give it a solid 8 as well. I think it was a great way to start the PLE as well, even if we did have a, mediocre crowd tonight. It was great to get the juices flowing. And I think to TK's point, I think everything was set the way it was and how it should have been. So now the question is, though, and I might be a little bit confused about this. So if Boza's in the chat or if y'all can clear it up for me, it was said that the woman that wins the Iron Survivor Challenge gets a title shot at New Year's Evil. Correct me if I'm wrong. That wasn't said about the men, though.
Actually, I don't recall here. I don't recall it. Yeah, but I feel like at the women's, it would have to be the men's, right?
I mean, does it? I mean, because New Year's Evil, while it is a PLE, it isn't one of their biggest ones. So I can see them wanting to have only one big high-profile match, which would be the women's title, especially if you're going to have Julia, because we know that's going to be the main event. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, just my bad. I'm so sorry, y'all. Whew.
You okay?
I just had a moment thinking about that. I'm going to be in the same present with my client in a main event fighting Julia in Los Angeles. Just I feel like that Denzel meme where he just
I can't with you. I really can't.
So yeah, life is good and it keeps getting better.
So it does say with the stipulations being an NXT championship at NXT New Year's Evil.
Okay, for both of them?
Yeah. So at least that's what I'm seeing now. Boza when he's able to find it, but that's what I saw.
Okay. So we shall see. But I think it was a great way to start off the match. Now, we know what the next match was, but we're going to, for the mayor's sake, we're going to skip over it, and we're going to go to the next match, which was for the tag team titles. Fraxium versus No Quarter Catch Crew. Now, I got to know. So we already, in case for those that didn't know, Fraxium remained the NXT Tag Team Champions. So now I want to know, after sitting with it for just a little bit, was the right call made to keep them as the tag team champions?
like I said in the watch along, I definitely think I think we all thought that they were going to drop. However, I feel like the long story booking is definitely kind of, for instance, if you envision Triple H at the head of the table, pun intended, at the head of the table with everybody from all the brands and execs and writers and stuff like that. I would venture that's what it seems like. The key word from the start of him taking over and continuing on is long-term story booking, long-term storytelling, excuse me. And I think even though we might have seen we have been seeing the writing on the wall as far as them eventually breaking up, there's a little bit more to this story that can play out. So I'm fine with that. Whereas there's times we've seen people win or lose and we're like, that's stupid, where do we go from here? And then you don't know and then nothing happens from there. It's totally stupid. But in the era that we are right now, there's a reason for everything, which is a good feeling. So we just have to watch how it plays out. So there's a reason why they still retain. So I'm fine with it. We know how it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. It's just how it's going to happen. Y'all know me for my terrible analogies. Like, the couple's eventually going to break up. Well, we just don't know how it's going to happen. Is she going to find out that he's been cheating for the last 6 months? Or does she get tired of it? Or, does she get a new job and she moves across country? We don't know, but it's going to happen. It's one of those scenarios.
Yeah, the same echo a lot of what TK said on that one. I just found it, the guy was cheating and but never mind. Anyway, but anyway, really good match, really good storytelling with this one too. Seeing how Nathan Frazier had competed earlier, he came up with the banged up ribs wrapped like DDP, busted nose, looked concussed. I enjoyed his night, like I really did. Like TK said, if we know where we're going, it's just when are they going to pull that trigger and how long are they going to until we get to that point. I didn't think they were going to keep the championships, but seeing how they have them, there's still something more at play for this one. And again, we're on a ride now. We live in a microwave society so long, we think our wrestling needs to be that too. Nah. I'm cool with like the slow burn of a storyline if the payoff is going to be that much better or that much more effective, because these two guys could go on and do something on their own and we might not have a Jannetty situation. You know what I'm saying? So because you hot shot it too much, but no, it was a fun match. Nathan Frazier might be my MVP for tonight.
I got to say it. Never have I been more happy to be wrong.
Oh, yeah?
I will say that. Because I want No Quarter Cash Crew to break up so bad. Like, I'm so tired of it. Like, again, it's milk that ain't got no stickers on it yet. And I don't think they're going to ever get it. You know what it is? No, you know what it is? It's imported milk. It got stickers on there, but that face you just made. That said it all. That said it all right there. The face he just made explains No Quarter Catch Crew right there. It explained it all. But no, I think one thing we've seen, like y'all said, throughout everything that we've seen, we've been wanting to break up from somebody, and we have not got it. We wanted it in New Day. We were saying it's going to happen with Austin.
I didn't want it in New Day.
Waller. Well, some did. Same thing with Fraxium, the DIY stuff, Street Profits. I think this is now the time for like tag teams to finally get their shine. It's like, okay, we got the women's division situated. We got them situated and we got them set up for, let's say, like the next 10 years. We need to get the tag team division set up for the next decade as well. And I think now that we've had such a lackluster in tag teams, it is that time for them to shine. And I believe folks like the Street Profits will be able to get another golden run before it is time for them to split up. It feels like a revitalizing the tag team division. And I saw that happen through an echo now throughout this match. But before we move on, Again, we didn't want to. We skipped the match so we could wait for him to get here, and he has arrived, fresh off of the college football tour. The mayor is in the building with the mayor.
Thank
How
you
are
guys for
you?
waiting on me. I had to rush here. I fought over tooth and nail of traffic just to get here. First and foremost, giving honor to my Lord and Savior, Lola Vice. Just wanted to make that very clear. And I don't know what's being discussed right now, but I did see the end of deadline, and that was very surprising to me. I don't think anybody had Julia on their bingo card, so I mean, congratulations.
Well, one did. One person did. One person did in the comments. Cyndeal was
your
she
favorite
doesn't
person.
count. I'm trying to give her some flowers right now, but I mean, the experts here did not pick Julia, so congrats, Cyndeal.
We will get to that in just a little bit. We were actually we had skipped. We're going in the order of the PLE. We skipped the match that we know you were eager to talk to, and so we're now talking about the tag team championship match. So we'd like to get your thoughts on the tag team match before we get into the match that we know you want to talk about.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I cannot tell a lie. I didn't watch it. There's a lot of deadline I missed, but I made sure to stay bipartisan and tune in for my clients and for the main event. This is Women's Wrestling Talk, and we cover the women here. So I made sure I tuned in for the ladies. The men, not so much.
Okay.
So I will defer to everybody here for that tag team match.
Well, to be fair, I think it is a match to go back and watch. I think it was a great display between Fraxium and between No Quarter Catch Crew. I think even to Dorian's point on here, I may be a little bit too hesitant about, me a little bit too forward about No Quarter Catch Crew breaking up. If I want to give the rest of these tag teams a chance, let me give that group a chance too, because they did put on a great display. Francis Orton and Tavion Heights just were doing their thing tonight. I don't know his real name.
But they need to look more like a tag team too. Like
that part.
Definitely got to coordinate. Definitely got to coordinate the
Something's
fits.
got to be up. They look,
because
together.
Because Tavion was matching. Francis Orton looked like him and Randy were gonna be in action tonight. Like, what are we doing? Like, you didn't get the memo. Black, yellow with a spot of white. Like, what's going on, man? You see, I'm ready.
What bows are talking about?
Oh goodness.
Yeah, because they're having NXT. Yeah, they have their NXT. Their first NXT is gonna be in LA.
Interesting. Miss Trinidad. I know I have.
Don't
asked
worry.
for...
Already asked. It's in the work.
Okay.
I
I would hate to have to pester my clients for things like this, so I'm talking to the boss. So I just wanted to.
Let me just throw this in here. Anything that comes to Atlanta after January 27th, just think about me.
I mean, like, just don't forget about me. Don't forget about me.
Oh,
but yes,
Lord.
I would say go back.
2025 for WWT is going to be a big year. So we will the WWT crew will be everywhere. So y'all don't worry.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So let's go ahead and move into the match that we know the mayor came here to discuss. The deadline took it to the underground. It was Jada Parker taking on Lola Vice. It was a battle to behold, but to the mayor's prediction, Lola Vice remains undefeated in the underground, but there is a story here that I feel. I sense a story. I sense a thread that needs to be pulled. But I am going to ask you first, how did you rate this underground match? TK, let's start with you.
I think well, I don't know what Sed's predictions were, but when we started the watch along, we talked about it. I think we all and these are the people in the watch along said, so just to be clear, I think we all kind of wanted Jada to win, but we kind of knew that Lola had to pull off this win to kind of maintain the story where it's going from now. And I think it's also a setup because, like I referred to, I feel like we all know a Jada, and it's not over. Like, you know, if I were in her place, I'm like, oh yeah, you got this one, but I'm not done with you. Like, you thought we was done, but we're not done. So, and it's still exciting. You know, sometimes they have these matches where they go in and again. And it's like, how many times are we going to see them have matches? With Jada and Lola, I feel like they have really great chemistry, and I want to see it run back. But they are doing it in different ways, which also makes it exciting as well. So I want to see this. I want to see what Jada's going to do in the next the next episode of NXT, because I feel like something's coming.
Dion.
Yeah, this one lived up to the hype, man. Like this was
Mm-hmm.
the women's man. Iron Survivor match was good at the end, but I think this one lived up to it, especially with that promo she cut, Jada Parker cut this week. You wanted to see this one. I can't wait for a third match because they do need a rubber match at this point, I think. So I think we are getting more to that story. But yeah, this was probably my favorite match of the night. Some good spots, some good action in the main event, but this was my favorite one tonight, especially for an underground match to be like the favorite of the night too. That's kind of wild for me because I didn't enjoy them that much before this. But again, we're going and telling stories, right? We feel that with Lola, we feel that with Jada. We felt all invested into that one. So yeah, that was a good one tonight. Do I need to give a score for that one too?
Yes,
it's my match tonight, man. It's a 10 for me. It was
match of the night. Okay,
I enjoyed that a lot.
Okay, all right. I am going to say before I give you the stage, Mayor. I am going to say this reminded me of Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. You know what I'm saying? Stone Cold going into a match that's more catered to Bret Hart, giving it his all and refused to give up. Busted open, passing out to the sharpshooter. That's what you saw tonight with Jada Parker. Jada Parker walked into a place she knew she did not have the advantage and did not back down. And she showed us something tonight with Lola Vice, which leads to some other bigger stuff. But I'm going to give the stage to the mayor, and we can discuss it after your thoughts on the match.
First things first, rubber match, copper match, helium. There's no concerns of the periodic table here. You know, I promised you violence. I promised you blood and all types of hate in this match just 24 hours ago. And I told you this was a part of marketing. I set my game up. It was just not that long ago. I told you guys I visited Strattonville and I saw the roads paved with cobblestone and how their citizens wore myrrh and minks. And I said, you know what? I got to step my game up. And we've been giving you this cinema here between Jada Parker and Lola Vice for months now. And now you're starting to see it finally play out in the PLE. But was there any concern that half of my clients would come? Despite what my chess emblem may read, I was bipartisan in this match. But was there any concern that Lola Vice would go 3-0 in Underground? Absolutely not. I think choking out her opponent showed the level of violence that she needed. And now we're going to get a trifecta of this rivalry. And to be honest, I don't expect any one of these women to be victorious in that third match. The end game is what I've said this entire time, is that there will be a level of respect that will lead them to be a tag team, because as quiet as kept, as nice as the Metaphor girls have been on all three shows, the star of that show is Lash Legend. So I think you might see a split there in the near future. That's just some tea we can talk about on WWT Live. But there's bigger fish to fry. And the reason why I left my celebration from the Big 12 championship to come here right now is because I found out, a little bird told me that Money in the Bank briefcase could be had So there's some things that need to be negotiated.
I mean, we can negotiate them, but because I have respect for you as a mayor, you know what I'm saying? Especially something you might want to, just address to your client from a perception wise. This is not facts. This is relative fiction, if you will. The shark was cut tonight, and it has a scar now. Because what was displayed with Jada had no reason to dominate that match the way she did. And it took choking her out after you explained that you were going to knock her out. It could not be done. You had to put her to sleep. So technically, Jada still has a knockout over you. And because of that perception, a Miss Money in the Bank winner and now an advancing member of the United States tournament, I was spoke to my client before we came on the pre-show, just a little quick, hey.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was, it's through text. We're more of a,
okay.
I know we're kind of in the previous generation, but they like to text or FaceTime very quick, and then that'd be it. But doing post-show things over there, talking, press junkets, just a little text messages. Hey, what's going on? And she texts me that Tiffy wants it all. Sounds like a great new tagline for 2025. And I said, you know what? Hey, you know what sounds even better? Tiffy 2 belts.
Oh.
We're going to work this out. But I think being able to take out an undefeated MMA trained combat specialist like Lola Vice, I think just adds to it. And I think with this performance against Jada Parker, she done caught some weaknesses in Miss Lola Vice.
So it sounds like we can possibly negotiate an underground match. Or would you be, if the Money in the Bank contract's not online, would you be willing to discuss maybe a Wednesday main event match?
Now listen, as much as I would want to put the Money on the Bank on the line, as a councilman, there's only so much reach I got. Now I will bring it up the chain, but that's up to Hunter and Stephanie for that to be allowed to be put on the table. And I would hate to just bring false terms to our negotiations, but I will bring it up the chain of command. Okay. I will definitely ask if that could be also put on the line.
That's fair.
See Dion over there shaking his head because Cody don't talk to him like this.
Well, no, my thought is what Stephen Chambers is saying. I'm just sitting over here imagining a brick on a pole match. That's all I'm doing.
Hilarious if that's it. Hilarious if that's the
Stephen
third
Chambers.
Stephen
Chambers.
Yo. That's wild if it's a brick on a pole match. I'm here for it though.
Really quick, because I know you guys are about 30 minutes in. Which matches have not been discussed yet?
Tricks and then the women. Cindil, if you can you just rewrite your comment? Which one it was? I'm so sorry. Because I was looking for it and I couldn't see it. But yeah.
So you guys discussed the males deadline?
Yeah, we did. We did discuss the males. So thoughts on
I didn't get you guys' reaction, obviously. What was everybody's reaction to Oba being the replacement for Eddie Thorpe?
Pharaoh called it.
We'll start coming.
Because your councilman has a new client now. He's finally come to the Big Back Coalition. We welcomed our brother home, Mr. Obafemi, and as you can see, we're now going for the gold. You get with the councilman, the network gets you where you need to go. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Look what happened just being in conjunction with the mayor. We got to see the match of the night because I'm telling you right now, women's Iron Survivor match,
They're close.
Underground.
Mm-hmm.
It's close, and it's only really still close because I'm fresh off of the Iron Woman Survivor Challenge match. But these were matches of the night. But let's get into what wasn't match of the night. The NXT title was on the line.
Oh,
That
was shady.
Ridge Holland. No one disagreed with me as I said it though.
I mean, yes, you're correct, but it's still shady. But go
No
on.
one
Continue.
disagreed. The NXT title was on the line. Ridge Holland versus Trick Williams. I'm just gonna say it like this. I thought the match did what it needed to do for the spot it was at, for the champion that was in it, and for the heel that was in it. Not necessarily a great match, but not a bad match. I think it did. I think it checked off on paper what it needed to do. Now, as far as a performance-wise, that's a different thing, but I will leave that to y'all opinion. I know, Mayor, you said you didn't watch it, so
I actually did watch this one.
oh, you did? Okay.
Which leads me to please, guys, don't text and drive, don't drink and drive, don't be like me. But yeah, this match was kind of interesting because, and I predicted Ridge would win, but they really sold the neck, and I felt like Booker T was working overtime on commentary to kind of sell Trick's offense, like calling out the moves, even saying like, "Hey, this is a bookend," things like this. But there's just still something missing. It's like when Trick finishes his matches, I feel like there's so much more left to be done. And that's why I put in the chat that the trick shot's not a good finisher, because I don't believe the match is over when it happens. And then we get a 3 count and I'm left like feeling like, really? Okay. I don't know if that means Ridge is still in contendership. I feel like this was a perfect time we seen this entire week with Big E and the New Day. If you really want to heat up Ridge Holland and say F you to everybody, this was the time. Because outside of this, I don't believe anybody's going to care. And that's been the story of Trick Williams' title reign. It's like, yeah, you're the champion, but do we really care?
Dion, your thoughts on this match?
No, I mean, I co-sign all of that. But not the trick shot. I like it as a finisher. I don't know. There's been some good ones. There've been some not so good ones, but that make me believe that the match is over. But that's neither here nor there. I call Ridge Holland winning it too. Said like I thought this would have been the perfect time to do it. If you want to continue to piss people off with Ridge Holland, put the title on him. He destroyed a university. He's destroyed everything that he's touched, essentially. Just strap the rocket to him and let him run with it. But no, with this match, it was okay. Like Will said, for what it was. The last, 3 minutes, maybe? Whenever the rope spot happened, I think that's when it grabbed a lot of people's attention. But that's way too late to grab attention for that. Because soon after that, I think it was one more move from Ridge for the 2 count, and then it was the finisher after that. So I agree, and we've talked about this before. Trick just doesn't have that. They don't have that roster set up for him to have like a quote unquote big bad to sort of defeat, or someone who can give him these type of matches. Now, granted, we do have Oba on the way, but I think that's going to be a quick one and done, and Trick's going on main roster. I don't see him sticking around after that loss either. So, I mean, maybe that will ignite Trick a little bit with that beef with Obafemi or a rivalry with him. But yeah, this was the perfect night to pull it on Ridge after all the New Day stuff too, like Seth says. So it's just a match. It's just our NXT Championship match was just a match, and we're just using it to get to the main event.
TK, you would know better than I do. Is Trick Williams a large man? And I'm referring to his height. He's like 6'5", at least 6'3", right?
Let's grab some burgers.
Yes.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you. That's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen, not knowing what you want to do. Like, this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to www.talkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
Okay, I guess
goodness.
I guess I'll finish my my diatribe. The reason
He's listed at 6'4".
Okay, so that's my thing about the trick shot. Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson got to be like 5'9". So he's putting all his body into that knee shot. With Trick, it's like, why are you hitting me with your knee as opposed to your fist or your elbow? So every time he does it, I'm like, it just feels like overkill. I don't know why you're doing that. I would love Trick Williams to have more of a power style offense than a striking style offense to add some believability to his game. Because outside of that, I mean, he really hangs his hat on his physique as a personality, as a character. So like, why are we not leaning into that even more? Like, I don't believe that you're some MMA type striker. I don't believe that. You played football, you were a wide receiver. We know that's documented. The trick shot, he needs something else to make his match go better. Honestly, power driver, power bomb, something power based that would make sense for somebody of his stature and his size, and comparative to like the roster that he's dealing with. But like trick shot just feels like it's just always so lackluster.
What if he did a build to it like Bryan Daniels crap, like he does from the corner to the corner? Would that help?
All I can say is when I saw Ashanti the Adonis tuning up the band, it pissed me off. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Because like why is you're the NXT champion? Why are we doing this underdog thing for you? Be dominant.
You could give him the bookend. What about that? It's got to be something he could hit on everybody. Would the bookend not work? I don't know. I'm trying. You got to give him something.
It like turns my stomach in knots when he's like cosplaying all Booker T's office, because Booker T was actually very
does the same.
talented in the ring.
Now R-Truth stole a lot of Booker T's moves. He's talked about it. And now R-Truth is out here doing the 5 moves of doom like John Cena.
R-Truth, oh man, R-Truth 50 though. So like we kind of just like glossed over all that for years.
So he needs to come up with his own sort of package that's
I
get you.
He has more of like a it's not lucha, but it's more of an underdog style high flyer striking type of package. And it's like he needs more power based moves.
It's Ricochet. He got a Ricochet package. And you too big to be doing all that. Only thing you missing is getting on the top rope, but you move just like Ricochet. And you don't need to be doing that. You need to be moving like John Cena.
It's like the same critique we have in Nikita Lyons. It's like, why are you doing all these kicks when you like more powerful than everybody else?
I agree.
But I mean, I think they missed the boat.
She has more of a martial arts background. That's why she.
Yeah, if you look into it,
Nikita, she has more of a martial arts background. Yeah.
But like just the casual fan
Like
probably
she's been
doesn't
doing
know
it for a
that
long
about
time.
Nikita though.
I need Nikita to wrestle like Vader.
Yes.
All power juice.
Potatoes.
Nikita would dominate if she did that. Well, TK, your thoughts on the match? You know, I know you had a biased opinion going in with who you wanted to be the winner. Thoughts on the match?
Whoop that enthusiast. If
Well,
you will.
I thought going back to what I said, but X-Pac kind of, I always make note of what X-Pac said as far as the flow of PLEs and stuff like that. I feel like it was a lackluster match, but we needed the lackluster match in order to kind of take a moment. Everything couldn't be on a high. With that being said, we did talk about Ridge as far as where he is on the card and the buildup and stuff like that. And I just don't think he's there yet. I think like even if he were to become champion, it wouldn't be for very long. Given where WWE is going now, as far as 2025, the buildup with everything, they're with CW now, and with Netflix, all this other stuff. I think Trick, as far as mainstream media, was a good bet for today. I don't think he didn't need to drop today, because if he dropped today, then that would have, I think the match did what it was supposed to do, like kind of a moment to to reset, to get ready for the women.
I agree. That's why I said I think on paper it did everything it was supposed to do. And I think it did better than I expected it to be. But I will say, I think if they can transfer what happened with Ridge tonight into the North American Championship and go after like a Tony D'Angelo, I can see what he was trying to do to Trick work there. And then it's not so heavy of a responsibility of him being the face of the company. We get to see what Ridge can be like as a champion, being the North American champion. I think that may suit him better with where he is right now. So we shall see. But let's go ahead and get into the main event, which was the right choice. The right choice to make on this main event was to let the ladies get in the driver's seat. And man, this was all 10 Fast and Furious films, even the ones we don't like. It was high octane, and somewhere along the line, it was for family. And TK was mentioning cheating wives, husbands who got surf shops that just shouldn't come back home because they're getting kicked out, and they kids don't love them. Yeah, something about kids in the bed. All of that happened in this match. None of our picks correct, except for Cyndeal. Cyndeal called it from day one. She had said Julia was going to take this. Julia became the victor. I will say something to TK's point. Throughout this card was a lot of storytelling, and slow cooking was the term that TK was using throughout the night. The slow cook, the slow burn. And Julia wins this match. Reminds us where we still are in this story. I think we had so much happen with us, with Zarya coming, Stephanie coming, the tag team matches, Cora Jade returning. We forgot what part of the story we were on. So this was like a very dope, epic side quest that we got to take. Now it's time to get back to the sacred timeline. And we stopped off with Roxanne and Julia. And now we get back to where we were with Roxanne and Julia. But I want to get your thoughts on the match, and I want to know from each of you, who was your MVP of the Women's Iron Survivor match? I'm going to let y'all take a second, because I was going to say TK, but TK is doing business. Apparently Trick Williams is texting her.
I'm listening to you. Wow.
How do you feel about the match, and who was your MVP?
I mean, I feel like you mentioned before, what I was saying during the watch along, the slow cooking of storylines. I think we all called the fact that Sol Ruco, we thought she was gonna win, which is a good thing, meaning that she's on the tops of our mind, and we think that she's climbing up the kind of the roster as far as being the next hot thing up. Even though she didn't win, I feel like she's kind of been circling around, which is what I really like that NXT has been doing. However, if you guys remember when Julia and Sindel actually called it even before Julia was signed. If you remember when Julia was signed, they made a big deal about that. And I don't think there's different levels of big deals, if that makes sense. And I don't think they did that for nothing. There's a reason, and they already probably had a built-in storyline for what's going to happen with her. And I think what the story is supposed to progress to is what's happening right now. So even though we all kind of wanted Soul to win, it's probably just not her time, and it's Julia's time. And this also might be the transition as far as Roxanne moving up to the main roster, because even gone are the days when I used to say, okay, when are they reaching the main roster? How this time I kind of almost want to see what it looks like for her being on the main roster, because Roxanne's small. There's a lot of smaller girls on the main roster as well, but she's also young, and I want to see how that's going to play out with, you know, veterans who've been in the game for 10 years, and what that story is going to look like. So this might be kind of the perfect transition to you know, SmackDown, Raw, especially with everything that's going on with NXT. Sorry, not NXT, Netflix.
And then too, being able to use a break as well. So I think even too, being able to, if drop the title at New Year's Evil, being able to take a little time, come back for the Rumble, do some stuff there, but then be able to take a break, get a little bit of rest, and then, like you said, like slowly get that prep ready for her to come. But Dion, thoughts on the match, and who was your MVP?
I agree with Dorian in the chat. That soul snatcher, that double soul snatcher was crazy, and this was another display of Sol Ruka's athletic ability, which is always dope to watch. It was hard for me not to think Ren, because she played a really good part. She played her role well in this match. She took the pin she needed. She ran when she needed. She every spot that she was involved in, she knocked out of the park. Or every place that she was there, she knocked out of the park. So it was between her and Sol Ruka, but Sol Ruka just too athletic, man, and just the backflip outside the ring as well was amazing as well too. But no, this match was great. There were stories interweaving throughout this entire thing. We were wrong on our picks, but no, like you said, this was right up there with that underground match too. But yeah, really good match. I enjoyed it. Sol Ruka's my MVP. She'll get there one day. She'll. It's just like TK said. Now we're looking to see if we're looking at the women's roster or the roster in general, just see who sticks around NXT longer. There's a lot of women in NXT. We don't want to go up to the main roster right now. We want them to stay there. And all 5 women in this match were those 5 women. We want them to stay there for a while. And I think they're building up to that. Again, the slow burn is the word of the night, is the term of the night for every one of these matches.
Mayor, your thoughts? And then actually too, on this question as well, if you could answer Boza.
I think so just to get this out of the way, I think the Tiffany Stratton stuff is just to remind people that the briefcase can be cashed in on any title. But she's a former NXT Women's Champion. There's no need for that. But you boost ratings at the top of the year if you bring somebody back. And that's really what it's for, especially when Raw is going to Netflix and leaving USA. SmackDown's on USA now. You want to make sure NXT stays boosting the ratings every single week. So that's what that is for, especially when you know Raw might bring back, Raw is definitely bringing back Becky on the first show. Charlotte may be back on SmackDown the first show of the 2025 as well. So you just got to keep things congruent there. But the match was great. I would say my MVP is Ren, just because she displayed the most character throughout the entire match. With the pinfalls, the frustration, she spent the most time in the penalty box. She helped Ford No Quarter Catch crew so much from a character standpoint that type of clawing and scratching to get to her moment will be remembered in moments like that. I'm still surprised I'm I'm still surprised they use this medium to make Julia versus Roxanne happen for a second time. And it makes me think, like, is it time to pull the trigger on Julia to make her a champion? We know all those things, all those rumblings about how they have plans for her, all these different types of packages to make her the face of the CW network and NXT. And I just feel like, well, last time they had Bubble Jacket come back and thwart all of that. So I don't feel like it's necessary right now, but I'm trying to, it's hard for me to see the bigger storyline if she goes 0-2 in singles matches against Roxanne.
You said Bubble Jacket. I can't.
Bubble Jacket don't never get old. And every Tuesday she come out with one. I'm like, why you got so many bubble jackets? But then I remember how old they are. I'm like, oh yeah, you are right at the age to be wearing. Yep, that's what we wore, bubble jackets, right at that age. You're right. Get your bubble jacket on, girl. I think it made perfect sense because, again, I feel like it got us to reset back where we're supposed to be. And it's getting us where we know who's in what division now. Because we really see how it's shaping up now. Moving into 2025, you can clearly see who's going to be going for the NXT Women's North American Championship, like a Tatum Paxley, even possibly Sol Ruka's kind of in the middle of that. Mm-hmm. She can go forward. But we know like a Ren Sinclair. Ren Sinclair can definitely get some stock raised in doing the Women's North American Championship, as well as like a the girl from Chase U. What was her name?
Thea Hill.
Thea Hill. And now we know who's in the NXT women's bracket. So now we're just getting really just back to that and back to that line. So if it's Julia, either way we know it's because Stephanie called next. Mm-hmm. So now too, we saw with all that anticipation we got, if it is to take the belt off of my client, now we go stand and deliver Julia versus Stephanie McCool. But either way, those are still two big matches, even if it's not, and it's Roxanne versus Stephanie McCool.
Well, we know Julia and Stephanie's going to come. It's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
Sindel, so you know, if your girl join Damage Control, your homie gonna be out, right? Like you know that, right? Okay. I'll leave it alone. I'm sorry.
I don't really know what to say after that. You know they can be cross brand, right?
Well, Oscar ain't no brand right now.
I didn't even put it up.
She ain't no brand. Home brand.
I would prefer Julia just stay Julia. Like, I think she set herself up enough to where it's like, hey, you deserve to be your own entity and let that stock rise before connecting with anybody and stuff. But I'm also going, my MVP was Ren Sinclair because I think she was able to stand out the most. I feel like everybody did what they were supposed to do. Everyone's elevated, but like the real winner is just showing personality. And that's what I feel like Ren Sinclair was missing. She finally she has a different color top on that plain bottle of milk that is Ren Sinclair. She finally got a red top. So you start looking, what are those red tops with no stickers on them?
That's whole milk right there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now we just got to get some more stickers on there, branded off, but we got the top. We got the top of that whole milk tonight, man. She got herself a red top. Shout out to you, Ren Sinclair.
I can't with y'all.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Give me the milk. Oh, give me the milk. Give me the milk. This
Give me the damn milk.
can't be worth it.
All right.
I got
With
I got an off deadline question that it could probably wait for Monday, but I don't know if we're doing a show Monday, so I want to ask.
yeah, we're doing a show Monday. Why wouldn't we do a show on Monday?
I don't know. I'm just curious, but there was a deleted tweet that came out, and I know a lot of people on this panel are pro Nakamura for winning the U.S. Championship and this new character shift he's made. Lio Rush tweeted out some of his matches over the past year or so, kind of insinuating that this new Nakamura is kind of biting off his character, his dark character. I want to see if anybody saw that tweet because it was deleted. It was fast. If you didn't see it, you missed it.
I'm not gonna lie. The Black Mist I saw from Leo first. I don't want to. It depends if Leo was the first one to do that, because if not, then that's hard to say. Like if there was another wrestler like from Japan that spit Black Mist and had it run like that, I can't necessarily say he bit off you, but I will just say, to be fair, the first one I've seen do that is Lio Rush, because that really took me by surprise. And I was like, oh, it's like some like thing he snaps into. Like what?
I feel like the Black Mist is not that. I feel like the Black Mist has been done prior to Lio Rush. And Boza probably can look that up. But I feel like there might have been like a Japanese wrestler who's done that before. Like I feel like it's not a new thing. A lot of these gimmicks and these things that are, I mean, we think that we're inventing stuff, but we're really not. It's just reinventing the wheel of something else that's happened. Like there's really not, when you think of the arc of storylines and different things, we're not really, I think you might be right, Cousin Ron. I think we can't necessarily claim ownership to stuff like this, because wrestling's been around for even before what we know of WWF, WWE. So I mean, yes, but then I'm sure somebody else can say, yeah, well, you took this off of somebody else. So, but you know, I did like Lio Rush when he was in WWE, but we'll see what happens. What does he want? Did he want Shinsuke to apologize, or like what was the reason for that?
It was deleted tweet, so I think it was more so like his Blackheart character that he kind of brings out every now and then with the Black Mist dripping. It was pretty much a screenshot of Shinsuke from last night's SmackDown and how it's similar to what he's been doing with that Blackheart character. I don't know what he was saying, but the tweet was deleted, and I just thought it was interesting. I'm just wondering if you guys caught that at all.
Yeah, I think just the common thing is the Black Mist, because even to that point, if you want to start diving into it, which is why I see he wanted to delete it, because you'll start to get the IWC to think about that. Like Shinsuke did that as self-defense. Like Bloodline is around him, like he's doing that to creep them out so he can get out the ring. Like it showed, you do this when you click into this character, Blackheart. And so one could say it's oh, you just seeing that?
I'm gonna let him live, because I feel like he just called me an outlet, and I've been drinking, so I'm gonna let him live, because comparing me to Drake hating, yeah. But all right.
So before we get out of here, overall rating on the match on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give NXT's Deadline? TK, we're gonna start with you.
I give it a solid. I'm varying between 7.5 and 8. The reason being, I really like the flow of the matches. I think it was a really great call on the match order. I think all of them told good stories, whether they were extremely entertaining or they were kind of like, mid. And the thing that I really do like, it leaves off for what's going to happen next. Oftentimes, sometimes in these PLEs, like we see a match happen and it's kind of like the bookend to something that's happened. It's like, okay, well, that's it. We might not see the person, but all these stories are leading to something, leading up into the new year, a couple weeks from now, a couple months from now. So I really love the storytelling that WWE on a whole is doing. I think we are all scarred by the last years of the Vince era, just because it was just all over the place, and now it's just refreshing to really kind of have good stories and so many people within the stories. It's not the same 5 people cycling. It's not the same, the same people, best friends, no longer best friends. It's no longer any of that. So I would give it like a 7.5, 8.
All right. Cedric, from what you did see, what would you rate Deadline?
I'll give it an 8.5. I like how spaced out it was. I like that the women main evented the show, because the big mystery was how they were going to space out those 3 new toys to have an NXT women's division right there. So that's good. Having the underground match. I do want to go back and look at the tag team match more, since I know that Fraxium retained. Oba Femi replacing Eddie Thorpe, and now the mystery of what we're doing with Oba and Trick, because everybody knew that there was writing that Oba was on the main roster already. I think that's very interesting. But I'll go 8.5 overall for the show, and I'll go back and give my opinion again on Monday after watching the show in its entirety. But this is a happy camper here, because I don't have to buy no Natalia merch, so I'm good.
Wait, did I miss something? Why would you have to buy? Should I?
All I'm gonna say is, I normally blame Cody for the stuff. This is Honey's fault. This is definitely all Honey's fault. She conjured.
Somebody said that there was a chance that Jada would submit Lola in Underground, and I said if that happens, I will buy some Natalia merch.
Oh, okay.
And Natalia came up because someone said to Honey that Natalia should be the first women's intercontinental champion. And because she said it loud, she's now in the tournament. And that's how all of this has transpired.
Gotcha.
Boza, to answer your question, I think Hell in a Cell is a main roster event. I don't see Hell in a Cell coming to NXT at all. So I don't know what type of match it'll be, but I don't think it'll be that. I'm thinking
last woman standing match. I'm thinking it's gonna be a last woman standing.
That'd be a good way to end it.
Yeah. Because then, like you said, you can have where neither one of them wins, and it's kind of just like a respect thing, where you'll have to have a determined winner, or you could. So they're both there. Dion, what do you rate tonight's PLE?
Man, I'm close at 8.5, like I said, because I'm looking at my scores. Like I gave one a 10. The women's match was like a 9.5 for me. The women's I guess right there. The only match that brings my score down is Trick and Ridge. So if I'm doing averages here, I'm about at an 8.5. I'll go there, because those two women's matches really carried this show for me. Also seeing Oba Femi come back too was great. I mean, yeah, I'll give it 8.5. I'll give it that.
Okay. My 8.5, close to a 9.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to.
You know what? I'm gonna go 9. I'm gonna go 9. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10, because everybody did what they were supposed to tonight. Like, even from a Trick and Williams, like to TK's point, there was something that needed to kind of, bring us down a little bit, get us back to even, get us reset, give us a chance to take a break, and then move into our main match. So we gave them what we needed, because we knew it was going to be a great one. I think everybody did what they were supposed to do. Even the tag team, the tag team and the NXT, the both 2 title matches, I have very low expectation for, and they exceeded the expectation that I had of them. And then for the returns, the surprises, like in the men's match, both women matches delivering. Like I said, Jada and Lola are one of the top rivalries right now on NXT. If you think it's somebody else, please let me know. But I feel like that is the number 1 rivalry right now. It is a solid PLE, if somebody that's not watching may want to get into, you could have shown them this. And this would have had them go, hey, well, where they normally do it, Tuesday, CW, NXT. I think that's why I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, overall, good show, man. Like, really enjoyable show from start to finish.
We are impressed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our post show. We thank y'all for tuning in and checking it out. Main rivalry is Ava. Well, yeah.
You know what? That's not a bad take. That's really not a bad take. I do like that take.
Yeah, because their interactions are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like my client be really looking like yo, I'm so pissed at you. And Ava be looking like, I don't care. Get your little short ass out of here.
That would be
not bullying my client.
That would be a very nice way to reintroduce Ava to in-ring competition if they were ever to do it. And it's like you don't have to do that anytime soon. It can be months, maybe years down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. But I actually I think too.
Do we think that was the question I actually had when I saw her? Do we know what the reasoning is? I mean, she's doing great as a manager, but has anybody spoken to, or has she said anything as far as, why she's no longer wrestling at the moment, and if she ever is in a wrestling? Has there been anything
it was just for what I read, it was just like that was the idea that was pushed because they got rid of the whole schism thing. So like they took all of that out because they were getting Joe Gacy ready for the Wyatts. So he had technically got called up. And so since he was gone and that whole split thing, that didn't happen. And so they had offered her, because she's there, they offered her a role, which would be the general manager and stuff. So I don't even think it was a thing of her not wanting to go back in the ring, but just more of what made sense in this next move. And it seemed like this was the right one because I think she's doing great.
One day
I also feel like
Joe
this
Gacy tanked everybody he was next to. But
oh boy,
that's not.
I also feel like this is it'd be good for the Bloodline story across platforms, across brands, eventually too. So that's something that it's not necessarily being said, but I feel like if you don't include that or acknowledge that, then you're missing out on another part of the story.
Look, if I don't get The Rock at NXT in 2025,
can you imagine?
We have dropped the ball.
Yeah.
If I don't get to smell what The Rock is cooking on Tuesday night on the CW, we have dropped the ball. And CW plays Walking Tall, so I know The Rock can be there.
I can't.
So I know you play. All right. I know y'all can play some Rock content. You can get The Rock up here, okay? I'm saying it, and I'm saying it now. Rock, NXT 2025. Run it. Run it.
All right, then.
Ladies and gentlemen.
With that being said, I think it's time. We'll let Ced get back into the streets. Ced, where can everybody find you?
Like I said yesterday, you don't got to find me. Just make sure you go support my Sun Devils, Big 12 champions, as we get ready for this national championship push. If you want to look at a website, go to www.biancadidit.com. And I'm standing on that because that's who I believe attacked Jade. And you can find me here on Women's Wrestling Talk on an optional basis going forward because it's the holidays. So Monday Night Mare will happen if the check clears. And if the check don't clear, see that woman, I don't know where she's at on your screen, but she's right next to me over here. Actually, no, over there.
There
you check her out over there if you don't get Monday Night Mare in 48 hours.
Wow, we back on this again? Anyways. Dion, where can everybody find you? Because I can't with
All-Star Fandom Show on TikTok and Instagram. We're going through the new Star Wars show, Skeleton Crew, kind of a sleeper hit that showed up to the party at the end of the year. But and also over on YouTube at All Star Fandom there. Usually here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. New job coming in January, so I should be here every single day of the week for WWT. So yeah.
And Councilman Farrow, with your new clients that have been added today, where can everybody find you?
You can always find me on my Facebook page, Tsunami State Alumni. It is our community page that you can check out. It's a lot of splashing going on over there. Big waves being moved by big entrepreneurs, big businessmen, big business women. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a lot of bigness over there at Tsunami State. I'm letting you know. But you can also support me on my TikTok, Instagram, Yam Yam Bigelow. Always posting the fresh Jada clips. Always, we gotta support Parkerville over there. Make sure that they're staying thriving, staying in tune as well. And then you can always find me here on Twitch and on YouTube with TK shaking her head, not understanding. As much as you don't understand this part, is how we don't understand your analogies about babies that ain't got no beds in apartments that they daddy can't come in no more because he done messed up because he cheated, and now everybody knows.
He's been cheating for 6 months, by the way.
He's been cheating for 6 months as well. So it's just nice to know we all confused over here at WWT, but we're not confused about one thing. And dang it, I'm not going last. I was so ready to go to WWT. That would have been the perfect segue for it. That'd have been the perfect segue, and of course she missed it. Don't worry. TK, just let them know where they can find you.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, y'all can find me at TK Trinidad, everything at TK Trinidad. Make sure you watch Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms. Said for once is actually correct. We're our shows, we're getting up to the holiday season. We're gonna have some specialty shows. We're gonna have an award show coming as well. So definitely keep it locked to all that stuff. And leading up to the new year, we have a couple of big debuts that's happening. So you definitely want to keep it to our social media. We'll lead you to those debuts. And yeah, it'll be fun stuff. So we thank you definitely all for support, for watching the watch along and the post show. We will see you on Monday. Thank you so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.